Thank you so much once again for being here. We were able to see each other at the movies. For our sponsors, we had Spark Access Houston, Bespoke Images and Photography, Deanna Michelle, and Trudy's Hallmark. And I want to thank my family. I want to thank my friends. I know some of us were here all evening, and some of us were here in parts. And just to know that meant so much to me. And what did y'all think? I'm just curious. I know. Beautiful audience.
It was a beautiful message.
Thank you.
To see some of you that were up there. That was beautiful. Really touched by that. So, hi guys. I'm Consuela, Axel. I'm a friend of the family.
Yes.
I'm a lapsed actress and all the artists and all that stuff, but here I am. So,
And thank you for being here.
What I noticed before I start asking you questions is that everyone who came in had a certain kind of energy. You know, you guys came here in faith, and you can kind of see it. You know what I mean? The energy that came in, I think, is beautiful. Thank you so much for letting me be in that energy. Thank you for inviting me, for real. So, I want to ask an introduction question.
Okay.
So, this event in particular, what inspired you to do it? I know it's been 15 years, and that's so beautiful to me. So what inspired you to take this moment?
Well, for the event in general, I think 15 years of filmmaking came about, I want to say maybe in August, was it August? I had a really amazing festival run. I was really fortunate to do it the way they say to do it. You know, New York, LA, and then of course your hometown, if you can get that in, that's great. And so just that back-to-back flow within a month's time is where I just started also realizing what was missing. Sometimes when you're on somebody else's turf, you get to experience the good, but you've also traveled, and you've also stayed in a hotel, and you've also, you know, probably had to foot the bill here and there. You're excited about being there, but you also miss some opportunities to connect with the audiences and be able to say thank you. And my grandmother always told me, she was like, people don't have to do anything for you, so when they do, say thank you. Right. And I was noticing that the more, you know, festivals it was in, great, but it was harder for me to really do what I wanted to do at that festival, because that's somebody else's stuff. And so as the indie spirit in me, it was like, hey girl, you need to do at least one event, you know, when you can, when you can do it, when you can budget it. And so it was one of those things where I'm big on numbers, I'm big on anniversaries, and it was like, oh my God, how many years has it been? Is really hitting on 15? 15 is a very special milestone. And like I was sharing with somebody the other day, I was like, I actually have been filmmaking longer, but these were the ones that got finished. And I was working on other people's films. A lot of things don't get finished. So when you're celebrating, you're celebrating the whole gambit.
So this is
Yeah, yeah, we could call it that too.
You're
that's
a filmmaker now. You're 15 years in, so you're quinceañera.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes. So it was just more so just making a moment to stop and pause. Being a woman, I was also seeing that double standard, and that really made me mad. And I'm one of those people, I don't get mad and just do nothing about it. It's more like, oh, get what you need to do done. If you feel like a lot of times women just kind of get put to the side.
You're going into my second question right
Oh, okay.
now.
I'm jumping ahead.
Okay, because I was going to ask, you know, how did your background, your identity, your faith bring you to interpret stories, and how did it influence you? How did it guide you? What made you choose faithful films? Because you could have did anything that's more marketable.
Yeah.
You know, more catchy, more commercial. And this is something that we really don't see that much of. And these are serious and introspective. How did you say, you know what, I'm going 10 toes down and I'm doing this? So what did that?
I feel like, you know, we also look at defined stereotypes and wanted to be one that pushes a generation ahead. So I was thinking about what could the younger generation get from your journey. And I think we just always can progress. And I feel like even, those who saw the earlier films, they were a different, genre mashup for the most part. And then I started figuring out that, this seems to be my niche. I do like to, it kind of happened unexpectedly with the documentary. I was not planning on doing 365 days in LA.
Okay.
It was unexpected. I was more trying to celebrate my living in LA and actually making it a year. So that was huge to me because I only had planned to be there for 3 months.
Right.
And so I was like, wow, God did that. So when it was a year and a half, things of that nature, that's when it actually was in a festival. That one to me opened my eyes of like, maybe this is your lane for now. And I'm not gonna close myself in either. I let God lead me. And I think that's what lets you know what's next.
Right.
And the next thing happened to be, how do you hear God? And that was coming out of a place of not necessarily thinking about the past work that I had done, but more so, where are we going?
Right.
I felt like there was a need to answer that question. Our world is hurting. A lot of people are really suffering in ways that they know not how to move forward from.
Yeah, I saw the tie-in, the way it was cut, and the way it was edited after the inspirational moments, you're talking, and then you threw in things like workplace, school, playing,
Everywhere.
entertainment, to kind of hint on that, what everybody's thinking. I thought it was really inclusive, and it was just really beautiful.
Thank you so much.
That's a good way of editing, and that's another question I was going to ask about that, is like, in editing that documentary, what were the strategies? How did you weave that together? I mean, you have to be on a whole other level, right?
Thank you.
So I'm just saying, like, wow, how'd you pull that together? I mean, we're gonna jump to that one. I'll go back to the other two in a second, but I want to
And editing is one of those things too. I work as a filmmaker in a male-dominated field.
Yes.
And a lot of times you are not always seeing those roles being filled. So I feel like when you're able to edit, you're able to really have the input in mind, reverse engineering, and thinking about, yes, when I come into this project, I want people to be able to answer that question, but I also was thinking about what I heard people say to me when I was asking them to be a part of it. There was some hesitation, and I totally understand. It's a very interesting subject. It's one where people may not feel comfortable talking about it, and just being transparent, I think it's helping a lot of people understand where they are in their faith, but also where they want to be. So with editing, I looked at it like there were 4 questions. I originally was going to put the questions in there, but then I took them out. I was like, I think it's pretty cohesive just to let it be that y'all are hearing the answers and where the actual guests take them. So that was fun. I kind of reworked it a couple of different ways. I was trying to keep it short, but then I was like, if I kind of pull from there and pull from there, then we're kind of losing the essence of some aspect of it.
What I will say is that it seems though, even though there are different films, at the same time, I want to talk about your style, not just in, how do you hear God,
But just in general.
In general, because I think that they all speak to you as a director. You have a style.
And I would like to ask the audience, especially those who have been here all day, well, how would y'all describe my style? I'm just curious.
Anyone? Marcus?
And that may be like maybe a question, but I think it seems like your pathway started as a writer, and you're a teacher, so you're very organized and you're very precise. You're not a type of person, let's just do something, just do it. Like, it's a reason. Right? And I don't know, this is my second or third time seeing it, but I love at the end your writing in the pen that you chose to write. Like you didn't just settle on one person, you went back and forth.
It's like
And that's
the
when
line of familiarity between each person and tethered it together. You found that, I got the word, y'all ready?
that's
She had her finger on the ether of the project.
Gotcha.
It's, we all need ether lines to connect to the internet and all of that. You can connect different ways to servers. This is me geeking out on you guys right now. But there are certain servers that act a certain way. We're sitting here for it, and I watch people come in and out of here today, and they all have the same love for you and your mom and your sister.
yeah.
And it's just like a beautiful, I'm gonna come up with a jazzy word now. Cacophony.
Oh, I love it.
That's right.
And thank you, Marcus. I appreciate that. And I do feel like it's very intentional, but it also leaves room for God. It leaves room for him to kind of say, you know what, I'm getting this feeling here. Let me do this. So I appreciate it. Feedback is always helpful. But yeah, the writer in me, I do feel always peeks out one way or another. And I just want to keep doing that. That's something consistently I do believe in. Because they're hidden. Think about it.
Truly, you were talking about how organized she is, and I had a question about the organization. So I was just saying, you know, looking back.
We're all in tune.
And this is 365. We're talking about that. Looking back on how, you know, you made your decisions, how you were planning it throughout that film. You know, how did you capture the lessons? You know, because you have to, as a writer, and as a director and an editor, you have to be telling the same story or be able to see the story from the page to the film, then in the editing room in the dark. Did you see it from the beginning of the project, or did it hit you like in the editing booth or when you were filming?
The lesson itself?
Yeah.
I kind of leave that for the audience. Because I kind of don't even try to start in that way and think like, okay, I want this person to get this out of it. I'm more so be obedient to the project and see what happens.
So you're from the age. So with everything that's coming out of Houston, I think that we've always been on the pulse of what's going on. We are what they consider the New York of the South. We were once
Look, she-
just FYI. So I think we still have that energy. So what in Houston, or your life in Houston, or growing up in Houston, your experiences, not just in the church, because I find that faith follows you whether you're in or outside of church.
Yeah.
So what helped you, or said, I know you were creative as a kid, but this is a hard pill to swallow to become a director. It's hard because you're in a male-dominated field. And honestly, we're African-American females.
And we're in oil and gas, old money town. I love Houston.
What made you do it?
I love Houston. But it's also a love and hate relationship, and I don't lie about it. As a creative, growing up as a kid, you're not finding sometimes those spaces for you to just naturally be. It's not in your backyard. So you have to create your own, ecosystem, and you have to create your own support system. And so it's hard, but it also allows for that niche to be there. So when I go anywhere, I don't look at myself as, and nobody really does, as you're a Houston filmmaker. I want to make sure that I stay true to my roots, and you will see my roots in my work, but I'm always expanding and making sure that people know no one's a monolith, right? Houston is so diverse, and people need to see more of us just so they know that, because they kind of always, anytime I go anywhere, they're like, do y'all really do this or do that? And we kind of can already see the caricatures that pop up in people's head, or the archetypes. Do y'all whip out your gun and ride your horse down the street to the this? And it's like we can laugh at that, but it's more to us than that. And I feel like as long as I stay focused on universal stories, I'm always going to factor in who I am. It's the family, it's the closeness, it's the warmth, it's all of that. So I just can't wait to continue to do those things.
So thank you for coming out.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate that.
All right. Thank you guys. Love y'all.
Love you.